Alrighty guys, we got the 2008 Ford F-150 King Ranch edition back in the shop today. Just a little bit of an update as far as what we did. The kicker's already been in there. The kennel, we cleaned up the wiring behind there, and then he came back also for the Planet Audio Silk Dome tweeters are installed as well. And then the subwoofer that we have put was a Kicker CVR, but the Kicker 400.1, it's a Class D, but we all know it has about 500 watts RMS, and it pretty much blew the Kicker CVR. So we went ahead and upgraded him with a Kicker CVX 10-inch dual 4 ohm. We're down to 2 ohm right there, bridged parallel to parallel, and then bridged to the amplifier. But that's it right there. And on this one, the magnet was just, about maybe a 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, a bit higher. So had to cut the back out of this nice enclosed box and fiberglass it, and then wrapped it up in a little bit of vinyl imitation leather. But it pounds. It sounds real clean, real nice, much better now. And these CVXs are really meant for small enclosures because on the magnet in the rear, the rear of the magnet, there is no vent. It's all on the side around the magnet. So these woofers are meant for small enclosures, like especially ported, and it just sounds phenomenal. It sounds awesome. And also, we also installed a 1 farad capacitor, a Raptor, under the passenger side rear seat to give them a little bit of a boost, especially at night, because this one has quite a bit of electronics and lighting at night. Helps the amplifier's performance to stay more stable at the higher current draws, the peaks. But the real reason he came in today was for this piece right here. He wants to get much better sound out of his Kicker audio. So we're going to be installing this right here, a ZX350.4, to help him out on his mids and highs for better clarity, more dynamics, more headroom. And this is going to do it for us as well. And a little bit later on as well, he's already planning on stepping it up with some real nice high-end components that we're going to be putting in there, because he's already at that level, especially with this amount of power. He could step up to pretty much anything we could throw out the doors. And then how this is true Kicker quality, you already know. You already know. Look at that. For a 4-channel, that is more than enough. Beautiful little amplifier. And there she is. Sexy. Super thin as well. Super thin. Kicker quality. They have got this new feature. It's an advanced. It's called FIT. It's called fail-safe integrity technology. So you're protected. Anything happens, anything goes wrong. And only that, it's also got the advanced input design. Any type of engine noise or electronic magnetic interference, it will reject it from the RCAs. It'll clean it up. It'll process it, and then it'll clean it so it's pure audio. If you have a little bit more money to spare, or if you're in the market, don't even hesitate. Save your money. Here we have layaway as well, but save your money and get something of quality. Don't just go into just an amplifier, just a 4-channel amplifier. Just might as well bite the bullet and do it one time and do it right. It's like anything. But like this, I with confidence, I know once I tune this guy, I'm never gonna take it back out because of issues or because of sending it out for warranty or anything like that. Because it's Kicker. Come on. They check everything. Nice 4-gauge input terminals. Remote. It's got two 20-amp fuses. It's got your automatic 12-volt turn-on remote. It's got the DC offset, and it's also got the audio signal. Once it sees the 500, 200 millivolt input signal, it turns on the amplifier automatically. So you have 3 different ways of it being turned on. High-low converter. Your crossover for your 1 amplifier and then 2 amplifier, and then your input for one side and then the input for the other side, front and rear. And then you actually have your selector as far as on your input, your RCA input voltage, high or low. Like if you're using a converter, it's obviously going to be low. How we're using it right now is going to be high, so it's going to be pressed in. And then on top you have your gain settings. This first one here is your crossover. Second one is your gain. And then your bass boost. I believe this is either at 40 or 45 hertz, the bass boost. But day and night. I mean, I already know with confidence the Kicker speakers are gonna have new life in it. I was saying to the customer, with this right here, the amount of clarity and the bass that you're gonna get out of it now, it's gonna be even more dynamic. When your subwoofer hits the snap and the mid of the speakers in the door are going to be so much more present, and it's going to add another dimension to the bass. But let's go ahead and take out the back seat. We're going to redo some stuff, do the wiring properly, run our CAs, our speaker wiring for our mids and highs, and okay, alrighty guys, we got the back seat out. This right here is the Kicker ZX400.1. We're gonna have to relocate it. This right here is for the Kicker CVR. We'll have to relocate it down right there in that little, where that X is at right there. We're gonna relocate it right there, and this will allow us more room for the 4-channel, because the 4-channel is about 3 inches longer. So that I've already put him in a previous vehicle as well. So I know right there is this perfect amount of room, especially in these trucks, guys. How there is no room, go with Kicker, because it's very slim. And the footprint is minimal. It's nothing. On other vehicles, you have more room, but on these Fords, especially with this seat system, there is no room to spare. So the best amplifier for the job, honestly, Kicker. There's no other way around it. They fit. You don't gotta do any modification or anything major. Just know how to position it and install it correctly. That's about it. But, okay, let's go ahead and remove it. And up front, let's go ahead and take out the fuse so we don't spark anything out, because we don't want that to happen, and protect the fuse as well. And let's start getting everything prepped up and the wiring for it already. Okay, let's go, guys. Alrighty, guys, we already got the ZX400.1 mocked up and mounted. We got the RCAs in, and we got the speaker wire, subwoofer wire hooked up to it already, so it's already mounted. We're just going to be doing the power and the ground, but right here is where I'm going to put my ground connection. We have a capacitor, and we have the other ground connector for the 4-channel, but we need to make another ground. It's not good to share same grounds from high power current devices, anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Give it each their own ground. So right here is where I'm going to go ahead and drill 1/4-inch hole through the chassis, and then with a special vertical sander, grind all this paint off, so the terminal, the ground power wire terminal, will be directly onto the ground of the vehicle, and then with a 1/4-inch nut bolt and washer, bolt it down, and so we know that without a doubt that it is connected to a true ground, and we're not going to be getting any type of resistance or a corrosion might build up or some type of oxidation. That's not good, and it adds some resistance, and that resistance really does add up in the form of heat, power compression as well. The power compression is another factor as well. Whenever in a sense, when you're putting pressure on the wire, it's adding resistance, so it's not as conductive as it was. So it will in return create heat, because the escape route for the current is not a straight shot. It's not zero resistance or ideally what you want is zero resistance, but if it's not, you'll get it back in the form of heat, because it's adding resistance to it. So it's like anything, you don't got a good return, bad things happen. Fuses get hot, they start melting. Power wire, I've seen the wire itself brown, like almost charcoal inside. So yeah, just do it right, guys. If you're gonna do it once, get it out of the way, and don't be messing around. So let's go ahead and get that done, guys. Okay, there we go, guys. Got the hole punched through the chassis. Went ahead and grinded it all the way down to bare metal. See, here's the paint, and then right here, like around the edge or that little spot right there, that's the primer. But all the way down to the metal, you know, give yourself more than enough room for it. So I got you know, again, I mean, I can't emphasize how important good ground is. You cannot have too much of a good thing on ground. But let's go ahead and bolt it up on there, and nut and washer. Okay. Okay, there we go, guys. Got it bolted down. You can tell we do not mess around with our nuts and bolts and washers. I mean, that is not going anywhere. I mean, that the actual metal. Whenever I was tightening down the bolt from the back, you can actually see the metal bent straight when I was tightening it up. Okay, well, that's a proper ground. Let's go ahead and continue on with the installation. Almost there. We got the 4-channel already installed. Okay, guys, there we go, guys. We got it cleaned up, buttoned up, got all the wires zip tied, nice and clean, not gonna interfere with anything. Just want to show you guys before we button it back up. Okay, let's put the seat back on there.
Lightning, bro. I'm fighting, bro. Fast as lightning, bro. You better use the Nikes, bro. I be on the bumper. Don't show me much, cause you know I got shit.
Damn! Well, the customer's here. He's happy.